We're outside of a restaurant in Midtown East called Le Mangeoire. The chef is Christian Delouvrier, really one of the finest French chefs in the city today. If you have a good memory, you'll remember a couple years ago, 4 stars at L'Espinasse, one of the greatest restaurants in the city of all times. Well, now he's here because he loves to cook, but more importantly than that, he was one of my mentors coming up. So we're actually not going to do the show at Mangeoire. We're going to go over to the Knickerbocker Club, where 3 or 4 of Christian's proteges, guys like me that came up through the ranks working with Christian, are going to prepare a dinner tonight with a winemaker.
Lay out those plates, guys!
We're going to find out what mentoring chefs is with a guy that was really one of my primary mentors, Christian Delouvrier at the Knickerbocker Club. That's what's on tap today. I'm Mike Colameco, chef and food lover. Come with me and meet some of today's most interesting chefs and their crews that work in their kitchens. Real chefs, real restaurants, and real recipes. That's what's on the menu. This is Mike Colameco's Real Food. Corner of 62nd and 5th Avenue. We're outside of the Knickerbocker Club. Been here since 1915, one of New York's great old clubs. Almost goes back to the Civil War era. And private club, but the event tonight is taking place here because the chef, David, used to be Christian's chef years ago. I think he was with Christian for 5 or 6 years, so that is the story here. He's having a great wine event tonight. Everyone's going to do a course, including Christian. It's about the only time I'll be in the Knickerbocker Club, and yeah, I use the employees' entrance. It's like that.
Okay, guys, beautiful. Last round, let's go.
Folks, this is going to be fun. We've got 5 chefs: David Paulstich, Tomo Kobayashi, Craig Kuketsu, Ed Brown, and Christian Delouvrier, all working out of the same kitchen at the Knickerbocker Club, and each cooking a course for 120 people. It's going to get interesting, and this event's to honor one of New York's finest chefs and our mentor, Christian Delouvrier.
Thank you.
We're here today for a great show. Christian Delouvrier, first of all. I owe a lot to you. You were the chef, my second job in New York City. 4 seasons, then you. 2.5 years as your sous chef. So the backdrop of the show is kind of payback time. You know, everyone thinks chefs today fall down from the sky, fully formed, or they come on second on Top Chef and they get a restaurant. But, you know, back in the day, we worked for people like you and we learned. We shut up and we learned. So talk a little bit about the guys that have come up through you and what it was like being a mentor for so many young Americans that came through your kitchen.
I'm going to have to tell you one thing, is that today is very emotional for me because if I'm here doing what I'm doing, it's because you guys. And it was tough sometimes, but you know what? I try to communicate it, what I knew, and what I learned from somebody else, and some did okay. Some made very high up, and today it's very emotional to be with you.
Today we have 3 things of the past hors d'oeuvres, the little bites menu today. We have tomato confit, pressed tomato confit sushi. Very, very good.
So you remember those days. I mean, that was kind of what formed you as a chef.
Yes.
Right? Any funny Christian stories? Any Christian?
No, he first of all he told me that my like a nickname Mon Petit or something. Mon Petit. Call me Mon Petit. I didn't really understand French, but
it's okay.
Yeah,
it could be worse. You told me a lot of worse things than that.
Yeah, beautiful tomato sushi here, and you have a little bit of wasabi avocado, which is ripe avocado.
Ripe avocado.
And then cream, wasabi.
Wasabi.
A little lime juice. You know algae, using algae?
Yes, alginate, yes, sodium alginate.
Yeah.
So this is truffle juice. Spheres.
Yeah,
juice.
truffle
Okay.
juice. One thing he told me that, I never forget about my humble stuff and everything. Yeah. I learn from you, you learn from me. That's what he told me. The beautiful salmon meat here. And a little bit of chives.
Someone get tight on that.
And this is Japanese pickle. We call shibazuke pickles. And a little bit of cucumber pickles, and a little salt, touch of salt, and mix with extra virgin olive oil. Nice and mix it.
Did you go to cooking school at all?
No, sir. I'm old school.
That's great. I love it. What's the chip on the top?
Sanchok on the chip. Sanchok chips.
So no cooking school, in the trenches, and really, you went to Delouvrier University?
Yes, sir.
Me too.
Beautiful persimmon.
Persimmons.
You're gonna have a little ring mold and a lot of punch to make the ravioli shape fast. And you're gonna squeeze a little bit of goat cheese and the other persimmon on the top, and making
Little ravioli.
right. And then we're gonna have a beautiful onion marmalade, which is regular Spanish onion, slice it and sweat with vanilla beans.
All the way down. Really beautiful food, really, really nice, really clean, great way to start the meal. Chef, do you mind?
Please, one bite.
That's brilliant.
I have an extra. Take that langoustine off. Here we're going to be taking diversity scallops and langoustine. We want to get that little sear and caramelization on the scallop. And at the same time, we're going to slightly warm up the English pea coulis.
You and I are kind of old school. I'm older than you are, but you know, we came up at a time when I went to cooking school. You didn't have to, but at the end of the day, if you graduated in cooking school, you were a good apprentice, period.
I have the morel there, a morel mushroom foam.
Talk a little bit about your time with Christian.
You know, I see a lot of people come out of the schools. What they need to do, they need to go work with a chef like Christian. You know, he's going to take you and he's going to mold you. He's going to train you. He's going to make you into a chef. When you come out of the school, you're an apprentice. You know, so you really need to go through some hardcore training. You have to suck it up, as to say, and bite the bullet and do what he says to do, and it will make you a better chef.
Right behind me, I have the sauce.
Keep going. Lay out those plates, guys. Morels, come on.
We're here in the other room because I don't have a dress coat. I don't have a jacket on, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this thing. So I got my scallop. I've got my foam. I'm doing langoustine tail first because that looks good. Tons of thyme on that plate, right? Tastes like butter and thyme and langoustines, sweet pea puree, morels peas, and scallops. Can only mean spring. All right, great champagne. My good friend Rita Jamais and her husband, Caravel. That's the label. We were there the last night. I ate the last Pike Cannelle. If I go to my grave with that, I'll be happy. So this was my notebook, straight out of cooking school, but I knew I had to study. This is what all the young chefs did. We would write down the specials. You know, this was a Maury special. It was partridge with cabbage, and I would do the recipe here. I'd have a picture of the plate on the bottom, and eggplant caviar, seafood mousse. But every chef that Eddie worked in New York at this time has books like this, just tons of books, pages and pages of what we were doing, so we'd remember it, so we could do it again the next day, and we could polish our craft. We came along at a time in the early 80s when it was really a young generation of American chefs who were just beginning to come up. Yeah. As you well know, Jean-Jacques Rachoux was one of the first guys to hire Americans full-time. And Andre Saltner was hiring people. There weren't that many kitchens. I mean, you were used to French people, you were used to the French language, you were used to people who kind of got your style. But here you were now working with almost the entire brigade was young Americans.
But you know what? It was a two-way street. They had to understand the culture where I'm coming from. And I had to understand the culture where they're coming from. And that was, in a way, easy for me to do it because my wife is American. And my kids are born here and they are American. So it was easy for me to be kind of knowing how to handle.
Buddy, how we doing? You see a sauce and smell?
I'm doing a rib of Wagyu beef. I thought I could do like fish or something, but obviously Ed Brown's here, so you can't you can't outfish the fish man.
Yes,
so
that's right.
We're doing a rib of Wagyu, and with maitake mushrooms, sunchokes, and Parmesan. You can hear by the sound. I don't know. Let me get my
kind of crackling.
Yeah, you can hear that they're really nice and crisp. Then we'll just hit it with a little salt. And this is just finely grated Parmesan cheese that we're just gonna let
melt.
Yeah, hang out there.
Talk about the sauce. A gastrique, this choice.
Okay, yeah, so we're doing a Bordelaise gastrique. So we just make a Bordelaise, and then separately we make a gastrique with red wine vinegar and sugar, and we combine the two. And it just provides that sort of sweetness and acidity, and then and just sort of that, but it has a lot more depth than a regular gastrique.
It's beautiful, man. Ridiculous.
And
What's
then
the foam?
this is Parmesan Hollandaise. We basically just make a Parmesan broth by reducing chicken stock with Parmesan, like rinds and grated cheese, and we just bring it down until it's really, really concentrated, and then we just make a Hollandaise base, basically.
How cool is this? I mean, our paths didn't cross in Christian's kitchens, but they kind of crossed post. So I was the Christian in the mid-'80s, and then at some point, I think you were in Les Pinos when we filmed there in 00 or 01.
Yeah. You saw the triple bouillon
Yeah, I remember.
with all the chickens.
Only chicken. I'm like, so it's done now. No. And then tomorrow we come in, we do it all again with 20 fresh birds. And I'm saying to these guys, okay, so this is the stuff that costs this is a stock that costs $40 per 2-ounce ladle.
Right.
Yeah, and what happens to the chickens? Family meal? I don't know. So where were you before Christian?
Before Christian, well, I was at Les Pinos with Gray.
That's really interesting because you had 4 stars under Gray Kunz, right? Entirely different food.
Completely.
Swiss, completely clean, this polished kind of Swiss refinement. Christian's Christian. Christian cooks from the ground, from the ground up. And for him, it's quite a walk because he's stepping into a 4-star kitchen with the assumption, hopefully, that we'll maintain that review.
Yeah.
Good luck. What was that transition like?
I felt blessed, actually. As much as I loved working with Gray, I thought it was a great opportunity to stay in one of the physically best environments in New York City at that time, and continue to learn from a completely different chef. So it was something that I didn't take for granted. You know, when he came into the kitchen, you know, a lot of people were reticent to change. I was one of those people that just sort of embraced the change and wanted to learn everything that he had to teach, which was a lot different. It was pretty much on the polar opposite of what Gray was doing at that time.
Look at this. Look at that color. Bullseye the whole way through. You know what? We'll go to this. Sorry. Crazy good, man.
Get 5 pots like that, you're good.
Well, you're doing a fun dish tonight. You're doing a halibut because you are the fish guy.
I'm the fish guy. So Christian invited me to be part of this dinner, which I was really honored to be asked. And you know, I figured I would do. He loves turbo and those type of fish. So I figured, you know, let's use an American fish. We're using a really great fresh halibut, but I used a lot of those richer, older style techniques. And just a little shot of Pernod. Gives that nice anisey flavor. Here's the celery root puree. I've got some of this black truffle butter. There's a lot of butter in the dish. Used with discipline, but it's a rich, tasty, flavorful dish with a lot of little components, but it's really all comes back about being the fish in the middle. The sauce is just going to be enough periwinkles that I can fit on the spoon that are just bound together by the sauce.
Chervil?
Chervil, one of my favorite herbs for fish.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
And it's not for the look as much as it is
delicious.
for the beautiful flavor. Voila. This is a butter poached halibut with periwinkles in the honor of Christian Delouvrier.
Pardon me for doing this, but if we're going to eat, let's do it. Incredible. I mean, you know, it's ridiculous. Super delicious, there's layers and layers and layers. I love that sea urchin butter idea. And then these sea snails are brilliant.
All about the sea.
And the Pernod just reminds us all of back in the day, you know, the sort of Marseillais style of cooking, of fennel and seafood and delicious, Ed. As usual, you're the fish guy. That's why you got the fish course. Hey, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
What was the Christian line? What was that patented Christian line?
The patent Christian line? It's the best goddamn thing I never saw. There's a very famous story that Christian and I are working on the line together. And Christian usually worked in the past, in the front, calling the orders and dictating what's going on, right? So one night we got shorthanded and Christian had to work the meat station. It was a really rough night. It was a Saturday night. We were getting crushed. I mean crushed. And you know how long every single plate took to put together?
So stupid. It was 5-pan pickups, 20 things on the plate, everything done with your fingers.
Yep, burning.
I remember.
So we're picking, and we never did really large tables, but in the middle of the crush, Saturday night, Christian's in the meat, I'm in the entremetier, we're trying to put out this 9-top. So the food's in the pass, and the runner, the back waiter's like, well, there's only 8 plates there. There's not 8 plates. We put up every plate. I look at the fish, they look at me, I look at Christian, he looks at me. Where's the 9th plate? We turn around, we open the oven, and there is this plate with 10 accoutrements on it, of venison just bubbling on the plate. Dead, dead. Sees that plate bubbling, and he starts screaming and yelling at me. And I just had this click in my head. It was like, that was it. I just wasn't going to take it anymore. I took off my apron, I gave it to him, and I went in the office and I slammed the door. 2 seconds behind, knock, 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 knock. Ed, open the door. I'm like, no, that's okay. I'm going to stay here. No, open the door. I open the door. We look at each other for like a 3-second pause, like, I love you back. Had this big hug. Didn't say a word. We went back.
Put your boots on and go.
We put our boots on. We dug ourselves out of the hole, finished aces, and have loved each other ever since.
That's hysterical.
It was a great story. It was the hardest, toughest love story that I had seen up to that point in my life. And he's probably the toughest, best teacher that you'll ever come across. They don't make them like that anymore.
Yeah.
You can go more with the jus.
More jus.
That's it. That's perfect.
I'm sitting here with like, I don't know, $1,500, $2,000. I can just eat these things, but no. This is Christian's night, so I'm not touching them. They're going on the plates.
This is the classic version of la poule au riz, meaning the rice with chicken in France. But the chicken is poached in a bouillon.
And your bouillon's crazy, though.
Yeah, the bouillon is really, I do with the memory of my grandmother, bouillon.
Seriously?
Seriously, yeah.
That's the basis. Then we have this chicken. Underneath the skin is truffles.
It's truffle, black truffles.
We have
yes.
some julienne
The last
truffles.
one. Yes.
We have some truffle butter.
Yes.
So we
just
got the
for
truffles
vegetables.
covered.
Yeah.
All right.
The chicken is poaching.
You also have a piece of foie gras, poached
I
the
have
same way.
Yeah, poached the same way, foie gras right there. Then I have the vegetables.
Julienne leek.
That's it.
Just
Carrot,
sweat it down lightly.
Yeah, lightly with a little bit of truffle oil.
Truffle oil.
First step, then the foie gras. On the foie gras.
Just like grandma, huh? You've had a pretty darn good run, brother. I mean, I think 4 stars in the New York Times is not a whole lot of people. Chefs dream of that particular.
Well, I worked a long time for it.
Oh, you
and
worked
you know
hard.
what? It's a Super Bowl in a way.
Oh.
To me, it is. Yeah, it is, and it's a beautiful souvenir. And in a way, what the 4 stars, in part, I owe you to you guys.
Oh. This is Christian's dish. I've had this before. I had this at L'Espinasse. It's so ridiculously good. Perfectly cooked. What can you say? Great chicken, poached in an incredible bouillon. All the foie gras fat swimming on the top of the bouillon. We'll do a little foie gras because we have to. Pick up a little piece of the chicken, tenderloin. If that's my last meal, I'm fine. That's crazy. The guy's brilliant. One of the great unsung chefs these days in New York City, working really under the radar. La Mangeoire, 2nd Avenue, 53rd and 54th. Guy had 4 stars. Always will have 4 stars. One of the great New York talents. And he loves to cook, so he's a chef that still puts on his apron and likes to show up every day. So all you punks out there with your tattoos and your piercings and, yeah, where's my next Top Chef finish? You know what? Suck it up. Go to work, put your apron on, and be the best you can. That's his message.
That's it.
Christian, for 2.5 years, 1983, 84, 85, 2.5 years, you and I come in as a tournant, you promote me to sous chef, I could quit my job at the Four Seasons finally, I'm making some decent money, and those were some of the best years of my life. I have to tell you, I learned so much in that kitchen with you, so thank you. Another graduate
Welcome.
of
You earn it. Believe me, you earn it.
Delouvrier University, we all learned it.
No, it's not a university. It's something that if you have the passion and the discipline to be in this business on your legs all day, the heat, people like me who pushes, gnashes, upset. I guess all good chefs are the same way, but it's worth it in a way. And it's not a university. You guys, you earn it.
It's graduate school. And this is the first time, as a tribute to Christian, this is the first time in 12 years I've worn chef's whites on camera, and it's probably going to be the last time. But anyway, I'm here with the professionals, so I'm going to dress up.
It is an honor for you to wear my jacket.
You
know that. You're wearing my jacket, do you?
It's Christian's jacket. So tell us what we're making today. I see we have some sepia. Tell me what we're going to do with this.
Okay, so we're going to grill them on la plancha.
And then we've got these beautiful tomatoes that have been marinated with thyme.
Yeah, thyme, olive oil.
Okay. We also have some pesto that you made.
Yeah, and then a little bit of pine nut monté with olive oil. I am ready.
Bon.
If you are.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, that bad boy should be hot. It's a good sound.
Yeah, good sound. We're going to do 2 in case.
In case one's not perfect.
Yeah. Put them in
little olive oil.
Yeah,
nice.
The salt. Look, see? Yeah, that's it.
In that little crevice there.
Yeah, that's it.
Bon.
Okay.
Bon. And these cook really quickly. I don't think people realize how quickly squid, sepia, it's either you cook it for a minute or 2 or you cook it for an hour. Nothing in between.
Look at that beautiful color. That's what you want. See? And you can press it to get a little bit more of that beautiful color.
Yeah, because you're getting the contact that
you press it, you know, like this. So, first, the tomato. Second, the pesto.
This is layers. This is classic Delouvrier cuisine, huh? Layers and layers of flavor. I don't care whether we were making veal stock, whether we were making chicken stock. That's why his food always tastes so, so good.
Which is great. That's a real Provençal, Mediterranean, like you say, dish. Okay.
You could just picture that. Picture the landscape, those rolling hills, the beach.
This one doesn't come with. It doesn't want to come with me. We take a chance, huh? For the seed, okay. It makes everything fresher.
Right. It's like polishes. It's like a flavor polisher.
That's right.
Little salt at the end.
And then like this, see?
Just a touch. Just a whisper.
That's it.
Bon.
But you know what? If you want to have a touch of even
Christian,
more,
he's never done.
See? That's it.
That's beautiful.
So it's good like this.
I'm going to have a bite, Christian. You
can have 2 bites. You guys is enough for the 3 of you.
We're still on camera. 1 second. Little tomato, little basil.
Okay. Give me 5, my man.
That is so good. That is so
Thank you.
simple and delicious.
Okay.
But so many flavors. Christian, thanks for all the years we worked together.
No, I thank you.
No,
you know,
it was great,
I tell
great
you something.
experience.
You know what? Because you guys, you did it by yourself. Okay, I didn't do it for you. I just helped you a little bit. I give you some advices and also a lot of friendship and respect, and that's it.
You know, we all learned so much. Thanks so much. Christian Delouvrier, one of the great working chefs in New York City.
Thank you.
4 stars at Les Pinas. Now he's hanging his apron and doing an amazing job at Montjoie. Christian, thanks so much. Thanks so much for all those years and the friendship as well. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Take care. Hey, folks, see you next week. My mentor right here, Delouvrier in the house.
Thanks.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks.